I made it clear that my intention was to play, and my intention was to play for the New York Jets.
Okay, so as you could see by that previous clip, it was Aaron Rodgers' wish to become a Jet. So I granted that wish. I'm sending a first and fifth round pick for this year and Elijah Moore to the Packers for Aaron Rodgers. This is based off a SI article that I'll leave in the description about potential trades for Aaron Rodgers. Okay, so after that trade, here's the Jets starting offense. It's Aaron Rodgers, Breece Hall, Garrett Wilson, Corey Davis, Alan Lazard, Brown, Tomlinson, Sinnett, Vera Tucker, Becton, Conklin. So on the offense, we definitely have to upgrade center, because that's an abysmal 55 overall for some reason. And then defensive side of the ball, they've got Sauce Gardner, they've got Lawson, Williams, Johnson, Myers, Reed, Clark, Williams, Mosley, Eccles, and Davis. So on the defense, it looks like just the backup defensive tackle and free safety. Oh, and also right outside linebacker. And just linebackers in general, except for the middle linebacker, one needs to be upgraded. And then also special teams, they've got Greg Zerline and Brett Mann. I'll see you guys if I make any more trades. Okay, for some reason the Jets had six sixth round picks, so I traded some of them for a fourth round pick, which I coupled with a second round pick to send to the Packers for a first round pick, which will definitely help me in my pursuit of better linebackers. Okay, so I just sent a first round pick for this year and a third and fourth round pick for next year to the Bills for Matt Milano, which will be a massive upgrade over the right outside linebacker position. Okay, so I just sent a first round pick for next year and a second round pick for this year to the Buccaneers for Ryan Jensen, which will be like a 35 overall upgrade over our current center. Okay, so I sent a second round pick for next year and a fifth round pick for next year to the Buccaneers again for Shaq Barrett, which is a 9 overall upgrade compared to our current left side linebacker. Okay, so we are at the midpoint of the NFL season. We're 5-2. Let's take a look at the stats. Aaron Rodgers has 1,800 passing yards with 14 touchdowns and 3 interceptions. Rushing wise, it's Breece Hall with 535 yards and 6 touchdowns. Receiving wise, it's Garrett Wilson with 530 yards and 4 touchdowns. Defensively, it is CJ Mosley with 55 yards. And let's see who led us in interceptions. Bryce Hall with 2. And then did we force any fumbles? It looks like we forced multiple. We got one with CJ Mosley and one with Matt Milano. So we're currently 5-2, which means we're number 1 in the AFC East, which means we're on pace to make the playoffs. So I'll see you guys if I make any more trades or if we make the playoffs. Okay, so we are now at the end of the season. I didn't make any trades, but somehow we went 13-4, which means that we were the first round bye in the AFC playoffs. So let's take a look at the stats. Aaron Rodgers had 4,600 yards with 42 touchdowns and 9 interceptions. Rushing wise, we had Breece Hall with over 1,300 yards and 15 touchdowns. Receiving wise, we had Alan Lazard and Garrett Wilson go for over 1,200 yards each, with them each getting over 12 touchdowns. Defensive wise, we had CJ Mosley lead us in tackles with 125. Let's see who led us in sacks. We had John Franklin Myers lead us with 9.5. That doesn't seem like that many sacks, but mind you, I didn't really upgrade the defensive line. We had Bryce Hall with 5 interceptions. And let's see, did we force any more fumbles? And it seems like we did. We had one with Hall, Mosley, Milano, and Gardner. So I'll see you guys in the divisional game and see if we win. Actually, before we take a look at the divisional game, I wanted to take a look at the awards, with Josh Allen taking the league MVP, but Aaron Rodgers coming in third. Coach of the year was us, thankfully. AFC Offensive Player of the Year was Joe Mixon, with none of the Jets coming in second or third. Joey Bosa was third. Then we had Offensive Rookie of the Year was Garrett Wilson, with Breece Hall coming in third. And then Defensive Rookie of the Year was Trayvon Walker. Best quarterback was Aaron Rodgers. Best running back was Joe Mixon. Best wide receiver was Keenan Allen, with Alan Lazard coming in fifth and Garrett Wilson coming in third. Best offensive lineman was Ryan Jensen, with Vera Tucker coming in third. Best defensive lineman was Myles Garrett, with Franklin Myers coming in fourth and Quinnen Williams coming in seventh. Best linebacker was Khalil Mack, with no one ending up in the top 10. Best DB was Nate Hobbs, with Bryce Hall ending up in second and no one else. Best kicker was Daniel Carlson, with no Jets being in the top 10. And that's it. So we'll finally get to this divisional game. Okay, so as you can see, we beat the Cincinnati Bengals 27-12. Let's take a look at the stats. Okay, so Aaron Rodgers had 118 passing yards yards and 1 touchdown, with Brees Hall going for 136 yards and 1 touchdown, and then Aaron Rodgers also getting a rushing touchdown. Receiving wise, Allen Lazard caught for 53 yards and 1 touchdown. Defensively, Matt Milano led the game in tackles with 13. And then, let's see, did we get a sack? And it looks like we got 1.5 sacks with Michael Clemens. What about interceptions? We got 1 with CJ Mosley. Did we force any fumbles? And it looks like we did. 1 with Chuck Clark. So I'll see you guys at this. Okay, so as you guys can see, we won the divisional game against the Cincinnati Bengals 27-12. Now let's take a look at the stats. So Aaron Rodgers threw for 118 yards and 1 touchdown. Rushing wise, we had Brees Hall rush for 136 yards and 1 touchdown. And then receiving wise, we had Allen Lazard with 53 yards and 1 touchdown. Defensively, we had Matt Milano lead the team in 13 tackles. Sacks, we had Michael Clemens with 1.5. Did we force any interceptions? It looks like we did with CJ Mosley. What about forced fumbles? Did we force any fumbles? And it looks like we did with Chuck Clark. So I'll see you guys in this conference game against the Ravens. Okay, so as you can see, we played a much closer game against the Ravens, winning 23-17. Let's take a look at the game stats. We had Aaron Rodgers with 213 yards with 1 touchdown, 1 interception. We had Brees Hall with 65 yards with 1 touchdown, and we also had Zonovan Knight with 1 touchdown. Receiving wise, we had Allen Lazard with 54 yards and 1 touchdown. And then defensive wise, we had CJ Mosley with 10 tackles, and then we had Jonathan Franklin Myers lead with 3 tackles for loss, and then we had Jonathan Franklin Myers, Quentin Williams, and Carl Lawson all each get a sack, and then we had Ashton Davis get 1 interception. And then did we force any fumbles? Let's see, and it looks like we did not. So I'll see you guys in the Super Bowl. I don't know who I'm playing, but we're probably gonna play some really good team. Okay, so as you can see, we beat Dan Campbell and the Lions in the Super Bowl 38-14. Let's take a look at the stats. So Aaron Rodgers had 218 yards with 3 touchdowns. And then rushing wise, we had Brees Hall with 151 yards and 2 touchdowns. Receiving wise, we had Allen Lazard with 64 yards and 0 touchdowns. Defensively, we had CJ Mosley once again lead the game in tackles with 9. Tackles for loss was led by Michael Clemens with 1. Sacks, we had 1 sack with Jonathan Franklin Myers and 1 with Quentin Williams. We had 1 interception with DJ Reed Jr. And did we force any fumbles? Let's see. So we forced 0 fumbles. Okay, thank you guys so much for watching this Eagles rebuild. If you like the video, make sure to like and subscribe, and make sure to check out my next video where I'm gonna probably rebuild the Raiders without Darren Waller and with Jimmy Garoppolo. Thank you.